And there we go. So, putting the puzzle together, the video conferencing puzzle. The visual huddle puzzle. So, let's talk about kind of the sales cycle that we've identified. All right, so this information is really meant to take a lot of what we've been talking about and try to bring it all together. The breadcrumbs, right? Try to bring them together so that you have kind of an understanding and a context of how everything fits. So we talked about, as far as the sales cycle goes, identifying the target, doing that based on what?
Departments and industries.
There you go, departments and industries. Using the cadence, right, for developing kind of a tactical approach to calling, emailing, what else? Voicemails, what else?
Video recordings.
Video recordings, yep. Anything else?
More voicemails.
Social media, maybe?
Yeah,
LinkedIn. Yep, there we go, LinkedIn, yep, exactly. And so what's the purpose of doing all that? What are you trying to accomplish when you're reaching him and you finally get somebody on the phone and you finally have some dialogue with somebody? What are you trying to do? What's the next step from?
Probing questions to identify needs and applications.
Absolutely. And then once you identify a need or an application, then what do you do? What do you want to do?
Use that to figure out the features you're going to show them in the demo.
There you go. There you go. Do a demo. After you schedule a demo, or after you've identified the business application and then schedule the demo, then what?
Schedule the first meeting.
That's right, the user meeting. Schedule the user meeting. And then present the purchase order. Or in this case, what do you call it, Colin?
Just our invoice?
No,
For them, like a quote?
What do they sign? The quote.
They sign a quote.
Yeah. So that's all you need is a quote. They sign the quote, and you start billing.
Okay.
And as you heard Patty say, there's no, we can do it. We have a little bit of leverage if we've talked in terms of doing their user meeting on the house. We know that the 5-letter word, the trial, is that we can do 30 days. We don't do that out of the gate because that provides us tremendous flexibility for billing. Excuse me. In other words, you heard her say that, hey, you know what, we're on the 25th, I think, of August. We can, if somebody were to buy today, we could say, hey, you know what, tell you what, why don't you use it for the rest of the month on us? And we'll just have bills kick in on the 1st. Makes it clean, makes it simple. You don't have any prorated bills.
Yeah.
So she has that built-in flexibility because we haven't done a 30-day trial. So that's another reason why you don't want to do a 30-day trial. It just gives you more flexibility. But the main thing is all a 30-day trial does is prolong the sales cycle unnecessarily. So
No trials.
exactly. And the other thing all this does, let me go back. When you look at this breadcrumb approach, you're taking the pivotal point, which is typically signing a contract or signing the purchase order, or the quote rather. You're taking the pivotal point and you're not making it really that pivotal of a point because everything falls in line into the breadcrumbs and up to and including, you've got your user meeting. User meeting goes great. All right, Mr. Customer, you are rocking and rolling. You have that team meeting now every Tuesday. Meter starts running. Definitely let us know if you have any questions. Can't wait to help you out and learn more about other users that have similar needs.
Okay.
In other words, you've taken the whole point of, give me that signed purchase order. Especially if you present the purchase order before the meeting, the user meeting. I mean, if it's a natural part of conversation and you can do that, you're only talking about a handful of licenses, Mr. Customer. You know what? If you only need 6 licenses, actually, you ought to just go ahead and do 10 because then you're talking about basically the same cost.
Yeah.
So I'll ship you a quote for 10 licenses. That way, even if you only use 6, it's cheaper that way. Send him the quote for $590 a month, and then whatever the other items are, the domain hosting and whatever, get him the quote. That way he's got everything. You're going through the user meeting. It's just, it all becomes more natural and you're not hiding anything.
Okay.
The thing that I'm trying to get away from is the standard that we see today, which is, all right, Mr. Customer, here's the demo. Let me get you a trial. Take 30 days to use the trial. Once you use the trial, I'll get you a proposal. And once you get the proposal, the last page of that proposal will be the cost. Because through entire this whole sales cycle, we're trying to really keep costs down. I hope you don't see that. Doesn't matter. Have that conversation. I know Patty said they don't like to get, she doesn't want to give the $59 or the $99 because you don't know how many licenses it's going to be. I agree with all that. I don't want to trip it up. But at the same time, people are used to, in fact, we did it in the demo today. They said, okay, how much is it going to cost? And the common thing is, oh, well, we've got to crunch our numbers and, we'll get back to you. And I don't know. I'm just, this is so simple. The technology is so simple. And quite frankly, the pricing is so simple. I'm not afraid of it. And I don't think you guys should be. I don't think there would have been anything wrong. Patty could vehemently disagree with me. But I don't think there would have been anything wrong with telling them that, guys, you know what? We've got an all-you-can-eat pricing plan. You guys have almost 500 employees. We can do 500 employees for pretty much $3-4 grand a month. Pay for it up front. There's some discounts involved in there, but that's your ballpark. I guarantee you that if you had done that, I guarantee you that they would be looking at something probably 5 times that cost.
Yeah.
And so why not diffuse that? We don't have anything to hide. It's not like they're going to see the. I mean, we're about to put the quote together, show it to them. So why not? I mean, it's almost like, you know what? It's almost like. You never discuss money with people. That's just a general, you never talk money with people, And, man, pricing is so simple with this.
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive. And you know what? Again, we didn't do anything wrong today. It's all moving forward. It's all great. But I'd almost rather have that out there. And just like Patty said at the very beginning of the call, she kind of threw it out there. She said she took a little risk by saying, hey, how was that experience? You know what? Why not throw that out there and say, hey, we're probably looking at anywhere between $3,000-$4,000 a month, just to give you guys a little ballpark. Some incentives for signing up front, and that's just for all you can eat. We have other models as well, but that just kind of lets you, gives you a flavor of what to expect with pricing. How's that sound? I bet you guys a 12-pack right here, right now. that Russ turns around and says, guys, if that's all we're talking about, yeah, we need to talk. Get us that quote immediately.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to say, whoa, $3 grand. Are you kidding me? What? Holy crap. No. End all conversation. We never want to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable.
I'm a proponent of get it out there. It's not going to... Yes, we have more plans. Yes, we have more that we can talk about. We're not trying to close them on that call.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But I'm proud of the pricing plans we have and how simplified they are. Let's shout it from the rooftops. Let people know that, hey, this is simple. If we've got different plans so that we can make this very cost effective. So that's my take on it, and I really feel like you will close 99 deals faster by getting that out in the open. You have nothing to hide, showing all your cards, keeping it simple, and so there might be one deal out of 100 that, I don't know, a user is offended that we're talking price at the demo. I don't know. I just think I think we're at we're in a new era, and we don't need to impress them with the complexity of our pricing.
But see, it's something that they really just cannot afford. Like, there's no way.
I just
the
don't.
only kind of pricing I feel like would be something you wouldn't discuss.
I just
really
don't think.
expensive car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, you're talking about, so let's use this use case as an example. You're talking about $33,000, right? Which is essentially less than $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
So, but you got endpoints and domain hosting and other things like that. So rather than say, hey, price tag all in is, about $40,000. Well, it's fair. It's pretty darn palatable when you say, hey, we're probably looking around $3,000-$4,000 a month. We'll get you guys a quote, but that just gives you a little ballpark information that you can chew on.
Okay.
If I'm the customer, that just helps solidify this with me. You already heard him talking about how he loves the flexibility.
Yeah.
He loves the flexibility of the endpoints. We've identified that that's going to end up slowing down the process. We had a chance to say that hey, we're looking about $3,000-$4,000 a month. Now, that doesn't include the endpoints. We've got plenty of flexibility with that. We'll discuss that. But just to let you know, ballpark of what we're talking about. Man, he is so likely to say, shoot, for that kind of money, let's get this damn thing going tomorrow. I got users that need to get trained on this, and every day that we sit around here talking about it, I'm losing money.
I hear your point. I think it's all
I just think it's,
for what it's worth.
yeah, I really,
That's the way he was talking about it.
$3,000 to $4,000 a month. Oh, I forgot my whole point. $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and folks, that's for everybody in your company using it.
Yeah.
That's, he said 450 people or so.
Yeah.
Folks, you know what? That's $500. That's all in. It's all you can eat. It's an all you can eat buffet. You guys have at it. By the way, if you're using anybody for audio conferencing, you ought to cut that right now because this includes audio conferencing. And if you got anybody using WebEx, you ought to go ahead and cut that because this includes WebEx too. Well, how about we throw that in on us? So again, I think that the pricing should be viewed a big positive. And I think that not necessarily the price point and all that, I'm not trying to get that granular, but the simplicity of the pricing. The fact that you can say, hey, you know what, we've got a model that really would fit you guys great. It's all you can eat. Turn it on for everybody. Everybody gets a soft client. Everybody has an account. You got a video conference till you're blue in the face. And we're only talking about $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
I just think that's an easy one.
I like that.
And if he balks, then you got plenty of wiggle room to go for there.
Yeah, because there's so many other plans. Like, okay. Yeah, you have time to move and maneuver
Yeah.
and do all that.
Plus, if you think about it, $3,000 to $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month is $48,000. That actually, if you look at 100 user licenses, I think that came out to $49,000. That's the
Really?
ULs. $49,000 a year. I think it was just over $4,000 a month. So again, you've given them a ballpark. You still have a tremendous amount of flexibility to move in one direction or another, and not completely blow yourself out of the water.
Yeah.
So, talked about prospecting. I think you guys get this one pretty clearly, right? We talked about Greenfield and CRM mining, Sales Logics mining. The demo, we definitely talked about this one pretty big time, just talking about approach being the key. The balance that you have between strategy and execution, you know, coming up with your lists and your crutch and why you're calling somebody. Always know your reason. And respect the reason. You know, be ready for the demo that talks to Brad, who's running his sales team, that talks to Anya, that is,
Good memory.
can't remember what Anya's
Consulting.
name. Consulting, yes. So respect the reason. When you go to show Anya the demo, talk about the tool in the exact same use case that she would use it. But at the same time, always be ready for the kicking tires demo. Okay? I want you guys to practice the kicking tires demo. And I'll review that with you probably when we're done here, and then you can think about that overnight and practice that tomorrow. What we did just now, essentially, was the kicking tires demo, right? You got IT on. IT's always going to be a kicking tires demo.
Yeah.
Because all they're really looking for is the functionality to support their end users who have the applications. So when you're doing the kicking tires demo to IT, you can talk about this for your users that have a need for conducting presentations, your users that have a need for just simply collaborating, your users that have a need for training.
Okay.
And then you can talk about a couple of the key features based on those three pillars. And ABC, gentlemen, do you know what ABC stands for?
Nope.
Colin, tell me what ABC stands for.
I don't know. I can't say.
All right.
Am I supposed to know?
I can't believe you guys don't know this, although it probably dates me.
Is it the ABC 123 song?
No. So one of you guys get on Google and just type in ABC Glengarry. Well, you can't see video in the recording anyway.
ABC what?
Glenn, and it'll automatically pop up, Glengarry,
Glengarry, here it is.
and click it. We'll hear the sound. Sound is equally as good.
Oh, always be closing.
IT is old.
That's right. Always be closing. It just won't. It won't let you skip the ad.
You gotta get the Google Chrome plugin.
I never really used Chrome. I'm a Safari dude.
Here we go. All right, turn it up.
So, yeah.
No, I've seen this.
I can't even hear. Oh God! All right, that wasn't on me. Oh God! Kill the recording.
Always be closing.
Always be closing.
Okay.
All right, you can pause it. God knows what else he's going to say.
That's good.
That's how I was born.
So it's a great movie. So not as quite as hip as old school, but yes, always be close. And the point here is, you see too many salespeople that are about acceptance. They are about, and again, they do it inadvertently or indirectly, or they don't know they do it.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the end of a meeting, if the customer is saying, "Hey, this is great. Hey, you've done a fantastic job," it's the ear candy that we talked about,
Yeah.
right? It's the customer's doing all these great things, and meanwhile, as a salesperson, you're just kicking back, going, "Yes, yes, yes." And if the customer says, "Great, we're gonna run this up the flagpole, and we'll get back to you." All right, great, Mr. Customer. Thanks so much. Great day, great day. You've done nothing to move the deal forward. You've got to always be closing. And that's great that they're giving you all the ear candy in the world, and they're telling you what a great job you did, and that this is awesome, and they're running this up the flagpole. You've got to come back and say, "Hey, that's awesome, but tell me what that means. What is our next step?" Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Who needs to see this?
Okay.
Who do you want us to also provision? Who also needs to be involved in the decision? The more you do this, the more you're, again, getting the gray area, the daunting tasks that they haven't even thought of yet, and you're making them think about what has to happen for this deal to close. And the best answer they can give you is yes. What's the second best answer?
No.
What's the worst answer?
No response at all.
No response at all, which is when they say, "Let us run this up the flagpole and we'll get back to you," and then you hear crickets.
Yeah, that's just
That's just what happens so often today. Don't be afraid to close the deal. And when I say close the deal, I don't mean close the deal in terms of getting the contract signed. Yes, we want to do that. But my point is, close for the next step. Get it on the calendar. Get the people that are going to be involved.
Yeah, you just gotta make it concrete.
You have to. You have to, or you're going to fall in that trap.
Spell it out.
You're going to fall into the gray matter, fall into the gray area. And then then it's a matter of, I don't want to be pushy. I called him. We talked to him today. I don't want to call him in the morning. I need to give him some break. Yeah, fuck that. Go call him. Email him. Call him. Get on there. Find out what has to happen for this thing to close. Get the gray area out.
Okay.
Articulate exactly what the next steps are. And make sure that you can do it in the most professional manner. You can do it in a way that you're not pushy. But again, at the end of the day, do you care if they like you or not? You want them to respect you.
Yeah.
And if you're doing your job, they're going to respect you. If you're, again, that's not about some of the best salespeople in the world. I don't like, but I have the utmost respect for them because, man, they do their job and they do it well. And at the end of the day, that's how you want to be considered, is kick ass in your job. So let me see, I think that was towards the end, if not the end. So we talked about this too. The this is where you don't have to say first one's on me. After that, use as much as you want, less than $100 a month. You don't have to present the cost. Just say, hey, use it on me. And guys, Mr. Prospect, this is a cloud-based service. There's no infrastructure here. We're talking about less than a customer lunch a month, and bam, you're off and running, or whatever you're comfortable with in there. But the whole point is diffusing the perception that this is expensive, because it's not. Get the date for the user meeting and move on. We'll go into a little bit more information there. And this goes back actually more to what we were talking about. The 10 licenses is cheaper than 6 licenses.
Mm-hmm. $4, right?
6 licenses is $600. 10 licenses is $590.
Okay.
Yeah, here's where, again, understanding who you're selling to, understanding if it's the IT department, or if it's the department user, and going into the demo knowing what the objectives are. When you have the IT meeting, you're not, like we just did, you're not going to get, it's not a meeting to make the decision.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
go to
meeting.
the end users and make them.
Yeah, understand the buying process. And actually, look, I put it on there. Go find a user. Be prepared to answer objections. Go find a user, right? I mean, and I did this probably 2 months ago, this presentation, but it absolutely applies with what the experience we just had, right? You get IT's buy-in. They say, hey, this is great. I can definitely see some advantages. They even said it. We just need to get some of our users to test it, to test the codecs. Whole point is find those users, get their buy-in. So hopefully that puts together a lot of the individual pieces we've been talking about. We will go over the kick and tires demo a little bit, because that's what I think I want you to begin to prepare, or begin to deliver.
Okay.
Hopefully that's good. Colin, any questions on your side?
No, I'm good here.
Very good. Okay, that, let me go ahead and end the recording. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to go over there.